A very warm good afternoon to all my fellow students out there and all the eminent personalities before there. I'm sure that you have enjoyed all the knowledgeable session till now. Whichever we had, first we had on accounting standards, second it was on auditing. After we also had a special session on why CA was important, and the previous session was company law taken by CAS Santana Krishnan sir, and it was a really great session. And now we are here to give some pep talk and motivation to you students, as we all know that results have come a bit just now, and people are looking for motivation all around. So we are here to give you some kind of motivation, and for that today we have over here Sagar Shah sir, CA Sagar Shah sir. uh, so CA Sagar Shah, to describe in I don't think even a 2 minute welcome address will be sufficient for sir. But Sagar sir is the person who qualified CA in 2012, and he's one of the primary. He has one of the biggest chess media channels of India, ChessBase India, with over 770,000 K subscribers in this YouTube channel, and he is one of the primary reason and primary pillar on explosion and expansion of chess industry in our country. Thank you so much for that, sir. And I am sure like your introduction is not required right now. Many of them would have been known and are like fanboys for you. And it's a very honor to welcome you out here, sir. And today sir is going to motivate, try and motivate students for their upcoming exams and for their entire career, not only but the exams. So a very warm welcome to you as well, sir. And I totally hope that students will take the most out of the session. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Hrithik. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Let me just see if, yeah, okay. I can put it this way as well, and then I can go this way. Okay. So how are you all? A warm welcome to everyone. And I was told to talk on this meet over here, and I had been sent emails, and I didn't know what to speak because CA is something I did back in 2012, and it's been 9 years. But somehow Hrithik found the address where I was staying in Chennai, the hotel, when I had come there, and he came to invite me. And then I felt it was too much of an effort that he took to decline it. And so I decided to speak over here. And the thinking was, what should I talk about? Because should I talk about CA as as a subject? Should I talk about chess, which is kind of my life? And then we decided on this subject, which was principles of for a successful professional career. And I'll tell you why I decided to go for this topic. So life is all about decisions, that we make. And what I have understood is that when we have to make decisions, what is going to determine our decision making is our principles. Just for an example, let's say tomorrow you guys are given a job opportunity, and your principles in life will determine whether that job opportunity is attractive for you or not. So for example, a job has more exposure and more learning opportunities. Another job has more pay. And how do you decide which one to take? And I think at that point, your whatever you have learned over the years become your principles, and those become your foundations for decision making. So I just wanted to share a few principles which I feel have been very instrumental in me trying to improve in my life. And I'm not like 40-50-year-old. I'm just 31, so I'm still in the stage of trying to learn things, trying to decode stuff. So you can say that this is much like a work in progress, and I would love this session to be interactive. This is what I would love. So guys, can you write in the chat, like, can you all interact with me? maybe I can see, because I right now don't see any messages in the chat. So if you can just say hi to me, then I know that, oh, you guys can write to me as well. Okay, nice. Suruti, I can see your message. Helen, Rutu, man. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, this is what I want, because it's afternoon and quite a sleepy time. So if we can interact more, if you have questions, would be great fun to discuss them, and we can enjoy together. And you can ask me questions. I can respond back. Okay. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is my sort of life story until now in a very short span. Okay. And basically you can ask questions all the time. Yeah, so please don't stop asking questions. Actually, last 30 minutes is kept for Q&A, so we can also go for Q&A at that point. But let's start with the story. So my first, I wanted to share this picture. This is me. Yeah. With no hair at that point. I was, I think, 6 months old, maybe. And the basic point is that my childhood was very nice, very happy. Parents took good care of me. And I was actually doing three things in my childhood: studies, as you can see, all the books over here. There was badminton, where I was really good at. And here is chess, which was kind of, so chess and badminton were two of my passions, you could say. I loved them immensely. Studies was something that I was very good at. So if you say the exams would be taken, I would usually get good marks and sort of all of that, because I don't know, I was pretty good at it. I gave all these examinations, like scholarship in fourth, and IPM mathematics exam, and this exam, and Homi Baba, and Bombay Talent Search, and I maybe I did a lot. But amidst this as well, I found time to pursue badminton, where I reached kind of state level, and somehow an injury forced me to take up chess more seriously, because I couldn't play badminton. I had a knee injury. And then I said, okay, I like chess equally, and in chess, you don't need to run around and stuff like that. So I decided to pursue chess more aggressively at that point. And well, I became a good chess player. As you can see here, I played a lot of tournaments in my childhood, because I did BCom. So like I took commerce, and I did BCom from Podar College, which supported sports a lot. In fact, Podar is well known for its sports culture, and which is why I kind of, in my college days, spent a lot of time playing chess. But the thing was, and also, by the way, it's important to say that my parents, like my father, is also CA, and it was his kind of a mini dream that I would become a chartered accountant. He has a firm, he has his own practice. And so, but he also loved chess, and he was supportive. My parents were very supportive of what I was doing. But somewhere, there was this thing, ki, Arey, mera beta bhi CA banega, to, it would be nice. And so when I cleared 10th, it was clear to me what I would do. I would take commerce, I would do CA, and I would also pursue my chess. And when I would finish CA, I would decide whether I want to continue with my dad working. Maybe I would go to some big four, get experience, then come back to my dad, or I would continue chess, which was kind of not the plan, yeah, at that point. So what chess really gave me is playing tournaments all across the world. And I traveled a lot. I traveled unbelievably lot for chess tournaments, from the tournaments held in different parts of the country. So that was very nice. By the way, Anand Shenoy has asked the question, what inspired you to take chess? There was no inspiration, actually. We had a chessboard in our house, and my father took it out one fine day and said, this is chess. This is how the pieces move. Let's play. and we would play with each other. And then he would beat me, like he taught me, and then we would play every night and he would beat me. And then in order to beat him, when he would go to office, I would secretly plan as to some strategies. I would check out some books, some computer software, and try to find strategies to beat him. So my father was my first coach, and he helped me to improve at chess. Okay, and so chess basically could seem like a very small world, like it's a sport, it's a board game, but it has a world of its own. When I started traveling, horizons opened up like anything. I started meeting new people, I started learning new things. Traveling, by the way, is a great teacher. And whom I met my wife, who is with me right now, sitting outside, and Amruta, who's also a chess player, national champion of India under 16 and 7-time state champion. Like, very nice. And we both loved chess together. And also, in my marriage itself, there was chess, so that was one of the very nice. This is my marriage. Yeah, like you can see me there, standing there, and where people have come, we have paid the rent for it, so why not have some chess there? So that was also very interesting. When I was in 2012, I was in Goa for a wedding, and a friend's wedding, and that was when in January the results of CA came out. I had given my exams in 2011 November, and surprisingly for me, I cleared the exams in the first attempt itself. And I was at that point 22 years old. And I said to myself, like, look, it was a nice thing because you are in Goa, right at a beach, and the results came. So I celebrated. My parents were also there because it was like a family wedding. So when the results came out, we all celebrated. By the way, a very good question by Vivek Aditya, who says, how chess helped you to excel in CA examinations? I think chess was instrumental in many ways for me to clear CA. I think two main reasons were, one was chess requires immense concentration. Even if you see this picture here, you can see how the players are focused on the chessboard. They're just looking there. They have to make their moves. And if you see the number of pieces, there are so many. So there are so many permutation combinations. The knight moves L-shape, the bishop moves diagonally, the rook moves straight, the queen moves in different directions. And you have to choose. So you have to decide, and you need immense concentration, because one wrong move and you could lose a piece or something and you lose the game. So chess had helped me to develop the ability to concentrate for long periods. And I remember that when I would go to the CA for my CA studies in library, and I think it's one of the, I don't know if people still do it, at least not in COVID times, but before that or now when things open up, I think it was very common for everyone to go to libraries and study, even if they had place at home. Like I had enough space at home, but sometimes you just don't get motivated enough at home. So you go to the CA library and study there, or college library. And I saw that people would get up every few minutes, like maybe half an hour, they would take a break. Oh, let's go and have some tea. And they were kind of distracted in a way. But because of chess, once I sat down to study, like 4 hours would go by like this, because chess game often lasts for 4 hours. So I think that helped me a lot. And the second thing was, I loved chess so much that I was like, when CA final exams came, it was like I had to take a break from chess to study, to complete my portion. And it was nearly 4 months that I didn't play chess. I didn't go to tournaments. As I said, I was traveling a lot. And so that inspired me. Let's finish the studies quickly, so that you can restart your chess career. So that was also a motivation for me to do that. But to tell you the truth, when I became a CA at the age of 22, and I was also at that point a decent chess player. I would say my rating in chess was 2250 or so, which means that I was roughly around maybe 100th or 120th in India. Okay. And that is not a good enough ranking to be a professional chess player. So on one hand, I'm a CA. My father has a firm, and the options are unlimited, right, in this direction. On the other hand, I'm a mediocre chess player. Okay, like I'm good, but I have not yet performed to that level. And so sitting on that beach where I got my result, I started to think that should I continue doing CA or should I do chess? Like should I pursue my chess? And at that point, an idea struck me. Maybe you can write in the chat, what would you do in such a situation? Like now that you know a bit of background about me, what would you think of? By the way, I was not yet married then. I got married at the age of 24, so 2 years later. But so I was at that point. Harshita Mani says balance both equally. Interesting. I think choosing passion, says Hrithik. I think balancing is not at all easy, because this is one of the things that I also learned over a period of time. And at some point, you might feel that balancing is the least detrimental to you because you're not giving up anything. But it is the most detrimental many times because you're not able to give your 100% to anything. And so at that point, I decided to talk to my dad, and I said that, how about for a couple of years, I focus on chess, and maybe do what I could. Yeah, Mano says, CA to ban gaye, so let's take risk and pursue your passion. So yeah, that was the idea. Ki couple of years, let's try chess, and then agar nahi work hota hai, to CA is always there. And in that part, things started to roll. I did become an international master in 2014. I improved my rankings. I gave in a lot of effort, time, and energy to chess, and also single-mindedly focus on chess, which is why I reached India number 30 at that point, and I was playing pretty well. And I think it was somehow a very nice period for me because I didn't have to worry about two things. And right now, if I have to kind of guide people about education and passion, like these two things, it's very difficult to say, I could balance both and achieve my CA and then also achieve something in chess. But let's imagine that if there was no CA for me, maybe I could have achieved this at the age of 20, perhaps. I don't know. It's very difficult to say these things. So do you balance things in life or do you not? For me, it seemed always that balancing was the best thing, but not anymore. Yeah, like I'm not a very big fan of balancing anymore. Soon I started taking stronger decisions. So I got the Shiv Chhatrapati Award, which is the highest sporting award in the state of Maharashtra, for my chess achievements. And then soon, Amruta and I sat down to, in 2017 or so, 2016, we started ChessBase India, a company to promote chess in India. And that's my wife there. We started documenting things. We started traveling across the country. We started, you can think of it this way, that right now, let's say cricket is very popular. Yeah. And you follow the websites, let's say Cricinfo or something like that to get all your updates. And ChessBase India is something like that for chess, where you get all the updates related to chess. You get information about it. You get some products you get products related to chess. So we started to create an ecosystem around chess. Okay. And that's when I had to again take a decision. Should I play chess and become a grandmaster, which is my kind of next, after international master, the next title and the highest title in chess is grandmaster? Or should I pursue this another passion inside chess, which was like, I was very good at writing, documenting, journalistic ability, interviewing people, talking, and so on. And should I pursue that now? And somehow again, I tried to balance both. Like, I would go to tournaments, I would play, and then I would write in the night. I would write about the event, I would write reports, I would interview people, and so on. But it soon became very difficult, very tiring to do both. And so again, there was a leap of faith there, and I said, okay, let's say I'm much better at what I'm doing journalistically, so let's focus on ChessBase India, and let's give up chess career, playing career. So when I stopped playing chess in 2017, the last 4 years I have spent on building my company, which is ChessBase India. So now I can call myself more like an entrepreneur rather than a sports player. And from this entire experience, of my playing chess, studying for CA, playing chess very, very intensively, then getting married, and then traveling across the world. In fact, Amruta and I have traveled close to 30 countries in the last few years before the pandemic. And then finally running a company, I have developed a few principles for myself, which I want to share with you guys. And I hope that they will be useful to you. Okay. So my first principle that I want to share, and this is something which is kind of non-negotiable for me, is honesty and truthfulness. And when I talk about this, it seems like a no-brainer. Yeah, you have to be honest. In the childhood, I had read the story of the woodcutter who had 3 axes, and his axe, one of the axe was like made of stone, and the other, some fairy comes and gives him a gold axe and says, "Is this yours?" And then the woodcutter says, "No, this is not mine." And then comes with silver and says, "Is this yours?" And says, "No, this is not mine." So in the end, the fairy is very happy with his honesty and gifts him all the axes, and his honesty is rewarded. And we all know that honesty is the best policy, and truthfulness is very important. Lying is not good, but things become very subtle after a point, and this is what I want to address. Like, for example, just to give you an example, here I am in a tournament, okay, surrounded by a lot of parents. We have our stall there of ChessBase India. I'm selling books, I'm selling DVDs, I'm selling softwares, I'm talking. Basically, it's not just selling, I'm actually educating people about how to use these things, especially because I'm a player. I tell them, like, you can use it this way. And these are all very inquisitive parents, because they want their kids to improve at the sport. And then suddenly someone comes and asks me, is there a better platform than yours to play chess? Okay, this is a question. And suppose you are there, what would you do at that point? On one hand, you know that there are better platforms than your own company in chess. On the other hand, you are trying to sell what you have made. Yeah, it's what's yours. So these are the situations which are very, very tricky. And at that point, you have to decide, what is it that exactly you want to do in life? Do you want to build up kind of your personality, which is being truthful, being honest, so that people can bank upon your word? Or do you want to make sure that your business grows, by saying, "Oh no, nothing else is better. This is better. What we have is the best out there." Sooner or later, people are going to find out that, okay, there are other things as well which could be better than this. So I'm not saying that you go and start promoting other things, but you at least tell them that, look, this is what exists, something else also is there, and this is what is the difference. I like what we have over here. I like something over there. And this is how you build up a very honest approach towards what you do. In the long run, the benefit of this is that people will start trusting you about what you say, because you are always being truthful and honest, rather than seeing that, oh, he's all the time trying to promote his own stuff. Vishal Vasan says, do you have any plans to go back to being a professional player? That's always an option, actually. I can stop working. But right now, I don't think I have any plans as such. But I'll see. I mean, if the opportunity is right at some point and the workload of ChessBase India is in control, maybe why not? I could try my personal ambition to become a grandmaster. And this is where I also want to tell you, I don't know how many of you here are doing internships, articleships basically, and also how many of you are doing jobs. Can you just write down in the chat? What are you guys doing? Articleship. I'm doing articleship in finals. Articleship. Okay, many of you enter articleship. Very nice, very nice. And job. So here is my small kind of advice to you, that many times when we are doing articleship or a job, what we try to do is we try to do things which are only sort of expected from us. And we try often to please our superiors or our boss. But I feel personally, being the owner of a company, I would really love if people come out with challenging things on their own, like they are come up with ideas. And this is where I feel, rather than trying to be good to your boss, or rather than trying to show that how good you are at particular thing, you try to be truthful to yourself. Okay, you try to show yourself that, look, I'm doing this right now because I like it. Okay, and I don't need some validation from somewhere else as the first thing. The first thing I need is to make myself feel better. And so even when you are doing articleship, try to think, what is it that I can add value to the organization where I'm working? What is it that I can do? So being honest and being truthful is not only about just speaking the truth, it's also about your intentions. And I think you should have honest intentions about everything that you do. A last thing which on this topic is avoiding white lies. And this is something which is very interesting again. And I think I would recommend all of you to read a book, which is really one of the books that I have really liked. It's called Lying by Sam Harris. And what it says is that, let's say your friend comes to you and says, hey man, how am I looking? And you say, oh, you're looking great. You don't even think, you just say it. That's a white lie. And you, in your mind, you're like, oh, he looks really fat. But how do I say it? Let's leave it, and let's say a white lie there. And what happens at that point is that you had an opportunity to actually help your friend in that moment. Maybe he's eating a lot, maybe he's doing certain things, and you did not use it, and you in fact told him, oh, you look great, and he feels maybe he's misled in some way. And this is where I feel that you should also try to avoid this. And these principles which I'm talking about right now can be very, very useful. Once you start building up on it, they become a habit in your life. And if you start speaking white lies in one thing, it starts spreading into other parts of your life. Okay. Rutu says, this is what we call Vanja Pugazashi Ani in Tamis. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is where I feel, okay, people can differ from each other, but this is my feeling. Experiences come first for me, and I think it's important to experience things in your life, to experience new kind of emotions, new kind of things, new places, travel, because experiences teach you, they make you what you are. So that's the reason why I'm really crazy about having new experiences. I can go to any extent. You don't believe me, huh? Look at this, what we did. So this is a picture of me doing my blood test. And why? Because immediately after this blood test, in a couple of days, me and my wife decided to travel 1 year in the country by giving up our house. So what does giving up your house mean? To pack it up entirely, because we live on rent. So we gave it back, like, okay, don't need the house. Put all of this in one box and ship it into one go down. There are these boxers, sort of boxing companies, which box your things and put it in one place. And we're like, okay, let's 1 year, no home, just travel from one place to another, understand what the chess scene is in the country. So we went to, if I'm not mistaken, 45 different cities in 1 year. Every few days we would be on the road, taking a flight, new place, meeting new people, new experiences. And to tell you the truth, we were on the edge of our bank balance as well at that point. We didn't have money. And the award which I won, Shiv Chhatrapati, which I had just shown in this, I got 1 lakh rupees in that year itself when we were traveling. That was very useful for our travel. So experiences, I think, are very important. And here is something which is, I think, very true. It says, when you try something new, you will always be uncomfortable. And many people, when they try something new and that discomfort comes, because you've never done that before, they feel like, no, this may not be the right thing. But when you try something new, that discomfort will exist and you need to overcome it. I like this one line of Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. I hope you have seen that movie. I like it a lot. In the end, when they start running towards the finish line in that bullfight, there's this one line which says, जिंदगी में नहीं, दिलों में अपनी बेताबियां लेकर चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम. I keep this in mind, that in your heart, if you are a little bit like uncomfortable, you are alive. If you are not, if you every day are in your comfort zone, that is not a life you want to live. It's a boring life. It's like you're doing the same thing again and again, again and again. And sometimes you need to take those risks. And that's the same thing which I did experience when I had to choose between, this is, by the way, me interviewing the world champion in chess right now, Magnus Carlsen. When I had to choose between becoming a chess journalist or a full-time chess entrepreneur from a chess player, it was very uncomfortable because, my entire life, you could say, right from when I was an 11-year-old boy, was spent in studying chess, in learning chess, about chess. And when I had to leave chess and start doing something around it, like not practice, not play tournaments, it was uncomfortable. And I could sense it. I felt like, no, this may not be right. But you have to overcome that feeling. You have to make those bold decisions. Okay. That's where I come to the next one, which is failures are stepping stones to success. And I think you might have heard this so many times. So many times, all of you would have heard it, that it starts getting like, what are they saying? How are failures stepping stones to success? But I can assure you that failures, if taken in the right way, in the right spirit, nothing can be better for you than that. You really need the ability to take in failures and to learn from them. The main thing that I learned from chess and this attitude, because chess is so brutal, guys, every day you go on any sport for that matter, every day you go and play a game, you will either win or lose. Okay, on that given day. There are draws also in chess, like a tie, but let's say 80% of the times you will win or lose. So there is a constant feedback that is being given to you. Oh, you're not good enough. You see, in this position, you took a lot of time and you lost on time. You had very little time to make the remaining moves and you made a mistake. So that constant thing which keeps on, giving you feedback, if you don't take it as a sports player, you are going to just slump down. And that is where I think sports is very useful. And the same thing I've been able to incorporate into anything I do, which is where if something does not go my way, I quickly try to analyze what is it that I'm doing wrong. Okay. And this is where it is very, very important to be objective. Okay. Suppose you fail. Okay. In your exams. I don't know how many of you have right now not been able to clear your exams. Maybe there are many people here who have not been able to clear, and there might be many who have cleared as well. But what is very important is that you have to be objective about your past and optimistic about your future. Okay. Which means that if suppose you didn't clear your exams, try to analyze why you didn't clear. And many times I realize that the people who repeatedly don't clear at their CA examinations keep making the same mistakes again and again. For example, they really need to have writing practice. They need to finish their paper in time. In the end, they are always in the time scramble. But when they start studying for their exams, they hardly ever give importance to that. They start reading books and they start reading many books. Rather than that, why not spend your time in fixing the actual problem? So being objective and then acting upon it is very important. Okay. I mean, if no one wrote here in the chat as to whether they have passed or failed, so I assume that all of you have done well in your exams. But yeah, I mean, if whenever I used to lose in tournaments and on the last day, some chief guest would come and give a speech and would say, all those who have won, my heartiest congratulations to you. But all those who have lost, don't worry, participation is important. Somewhere I used to feel good about it when they said it. So I'm sure that some of you have not done well in your exams right now, but try to keep in mind that it's not about passing or failing in exams. It's more about substance over form. This is something which you learn in accounting. Like I've written here, substance over form in accounting refers to a concept that transactions recorded in financial statements and accompanying disclosures of a company must reflect their economic substance rather than legal form. But in life, it is so much more important. Sometimes we just forget the substance of things in life. Why are we actually even studying? What is the reason? Was it for knowledge or was it to become a CA? And the entire society around you, the people around you are so much like, "Arey, pass hua ki fail hua? What happened to your exams? Did you clear it? How many marks did you get?" That you suddenly start feeling like this is the most important thing. You never really try to step back and see, oh, I was studying because I wanted to learn. I wanted to get knowledge from this. Here's a small example of how substance over form is very, very useful, always. So, and it's mainly about having the right intentions as well. Many times, like this is me with Mark Dvoretsky, who is, if you say in terms of chess, is one of the best authors, writers who is out there. So when I went to Russia for a tournament coverage, at that point, I met Mark Dvoretsky there, who came to watch the tournament as well. And I was like, wow, this is the man whom I have spent hours and hours reading about. I really need to meet him and I really need to ask him for an interview. Now, at this point, the interview that I wanted to do came from this feeling that I want to know more about him. How was he able to write these books so well? And I wanted to put that forth to the world to show them what a genius he is. So that is where I say the intentions, the substance was very pure. And when it was very unfortunate that when I interviewed him, immediately after a few days, he passed away. But the interview was so powerful, he spoke so well. He just was open about everything, that later on it was published in a book in Russian, and it was translated, and it turned out to be one of the very important journalistic achievements of my life, of interviewing him. But I never went with the intention that, I have to put it in a book. I went with the right intention that I want to know more about him. And I was so inquisitive at his home. They're like, how do you write your books? Oh, how does this work? How does that work? How do you collect your positions that you give in the chess books, and so on? Okay, next one. Next, throwing principles at you. You pick up what you like. You try to apply it in your life. This is how I like things. I don't want everyone to agree with everything that I'm saying. You can disagree, by the way, in the chat. I would love it. Does anyone know who this person is on the screen? Yes. Yeah, Rutu, you're right. Ruban, Jay Kumar. Yes, Ankita, Raman, Helen, Nidhi. Yes, absolutely, Anuradha. Elon Musk, the very well-known entrepreneur, the founder of SpaceX, Tesla, so many mother companies, and one of the most brilliant minds, that they say. So when I got to know about Elon Musk pretty late in my life, I must say, I should have known about him much sooner. I started watching his interviews on internet. And if you just type Elon Musk on the internet, the first few videos that you will get is like how you should take risks and how you should work hard. That was all about him. Like, he was, you really need to, there was this one thing where he said, at night I would meet my girlfriend, but then I would be coding and she would go to sleep and I would keep on coding. And I was like, wow, this guy works so hard. He was like, that is what he brought forth. And right now, what is Elon Musk's net worth? Just any guesses? Yes, Dogecoin, exactly. Tesla, absolutely. Is one of the richest people in the world, maybe the richest. And his net worth, I just googled, 19,980 crores USD, not even rupees. That's USD. That's what his okay, now it's more. It's in the chat, it says 20,110 crores. Okay, wonderful. So this is what is somewhere in that range. But when you look at this, you get very inspired. You're like, oh, great, I should follow him. That's what you mean by idolizing, when you like something about someone. But the question is, how many times did Elon Musk divorce? That's also a very legitimate question. 3 times, not 2, 3 times, not 7. Come on, Helen, that's too much. 3 times. You realize that in order to gain something, you lose something. Somehow, you never really read these things about him. By the way, I'm a big fan of Elon Musk still. You see, this is not my Tesla, by the way. Just saw a Tesla and took a picture of it. But I just understand that whatever I learn from a person, I need to not idolize someone. I can take the good things from him, and I can keep improving, and keeping in mind that if I want to work for many, many hours, like how Elon Musk does, the other things in your life, your personal relations will take a beating, your health may take a beating. Okay, that was one more principle that I wanted to share. The next one is always be a student. And I think this is very important as you keep growing. surround yourself with people who are all the time challenging you. The best ones are often kids, but even people who do not agree with you, keep them close to you. Be a student, learn, question things. Don't be like, oh, I know everything about something, And the next thing, the next principle that I want to share is this one, which is indulge in meaningful conversations. I can tell you that till a point, like maybe this picture is at the living room of ChessBase's co-founder, Frederick Friedel, who lives in Germany, and I've traveled many times to his place. And we would sit here and we would have conversations about many, many different things, from does God exist to what is the future of humanity, to many different topics we have discussed here. And earlier I was like, what is even the point of discussing these things? But I think when you have meaningful conversations with people, and it's like a truthful conversation, once again, you're trying to learn, you're trying to tell what you know, you're trying to grasp from them what they know, you grow as an individual. And I've seen many times people do not like conversations, they shy away from it. And I think this is something that I learned very late in my life, maybe at the age of 24 or 25. But if you can learn it right now, it would be very useful. Nothing ever is wasted. This is something which is very true. If you have put in effort at the right place, in the right way, and the results have not come at that point, they are not wasted. But you have to put in the effort at the right time. Now, what do I mean by this? Okay. Here's my next principle, and maybe we can club that together. It is invest in yourself. Okay. And it's very important that you do that. So here's a picture of one man, like walking, and it seems like you feel like this man can take on the world and alone. So that was me at the age of maybe 17 or 18. So I did my 10th grade exams without having any classes. Everyone in the school used to go to some classes. There were some Mahesh tutorials and many different classes, but I wanted to study on my own. So I said, like, I will go my path. And I was alone, and I did very well. That gave me kind of a feeling that I can do everything on my own. But what I stopped doing there, I feel, was I stopped investing in myself. For example, in chess, I read several books, but there was a time when if I had got a coach for myself, a trainer, he would have made my path to improvement very fast. He would have helped me improve very quickly. But somehow that thing, like in school, I could do it all on my own. Oh, in CA examinations, I cleared without any classes. I didn't have any classes that I attended. By the way, I did go to, there was this thing set up by WIRC in Mumbai, where they taught a few subjects just on weekends or, every 3 times a week. And I went there to learn. But apart from that, I didn't indulge in any classes or anything of that sort. So I felt like, I can do it on my own. But guys, there is a limit to what you can do on your own. You have to recognize that. And it was my arrogance, you can say, or my lack of understanding that I didn't want a coach. And then when I actually got a trainer, by the way, this is my one of my trainers from Hungary. His name is Joseph Horvath. I was in Budapest and he's making fun of me. My improvement speed doubled, like went really quickly, because whatever I wanted to learn from him, he already had thought about it. So I didn't have to go wrong and then correct myself again and, read these books. And something that would take maybe 10 days could be learned in 10 minutes because he just knows what's the trick there, right? So that is where I needed to invest. And I started learning that very quickly then. For example, this is my, this was kind of my studio setup. at some point, very poor. And my home kind of put a stool and the camera and all of it. But then I realized that, I have to invest in myself. I got a very high-tech setup. This laptop itself is worth 3 lakh rupees. The main thing is that I do not spend, there's no wasteful expenditure, but I do invest on things which are important. And this you should be able to differentiate. Like the chair which I sit on for 10 hours a day is very important for me. I need to invest on it. I can't say, here, I don't want wasteful expenditure. No, my back, my health is at stake there. The microphone which I used to talk, by the way, even now here, the microphone gives a good sound, so invest in it. What is 10,000 rupees there when actually I can create good content? I can create good stuff. So you need to differentiate. For me, clothes do not matter so much. Okay, presenting yourself well is important at some place, but it's not the most important thing for me. But mobile phone where I shoot and do interviews is important. And coming back to nothing ever is wasted. Because I did not take a trainer and I did not improve quickly at chess, I read so many books that I had so many stories and I had so much knowledge about things. Although I learned it slowly, I did have it. And so now I started commentating on games, and all this knowledge that I had started coming useful. Because when you commentate, you have to talk about things, you have to break it down for people. Suppose today you are watching chess, you don't know much. You don't want someone to say, oh, here queen f5, king g8, queen c8, check. Oh, this is mate. What will you do? You need someone to say, oh, the black king in this position is weak. White can attack. He has 2 pawns extra in the. So you see, I can break down things because of how I learned chess. So while it was not useful for my chess career, it didn't come in handy for my commentating career. Lastly, or not lastly, maybe a few more points. Read good books. I think one of the things, there was this one saying, there is no difference between a man who can't read and a man who does not read. There's no difference. I think the very fact that you can read would be very nice. It could also mean watching movies, documentaries, basically taking in good content, taking in good stuff. And the way I've started reading books has improved over the years. Earlier, I was like, "Arey, pahla page se I have to start from the first page and I have to go till the end." But now many times I pick up a book, I read a few pages, I grasp it, put it down, try to think about it, try to apply it, then maybe read something else. The main thing is not that I want to finish the book. Substance over form. Why do we read books? We read books so that we can improve ourselves. I'm not talking about fiction books. Fiction books, of course, you have to read from start to end in order. But let's say self-help books, entrepreneurial books, all of these books pick up and I read, and it's very useful. Next principle, you must take care of your health, and you learn it the hard way. I think right now, when you all are young, and I'm also young, but I think when you work really hard, you kind of deteriorate. That's me working nearly 18 hours a day in tournaments where I would interview, write, run around people. And then when I'm working, I would be so burnt out that I would go to sleep just like that, and Amruta would come, my wife, and she would put a pillow under my head and she would be like, okay, let him sleep there. And then this did take a toll on my health. I had back issues. Of course, my weight started to increase and somewhere I had to take care. But right now, maybe you do not realize it, but at some point when you will do, maybe this will be helpful. This is what I'm saying right now. Take care of your health. It's the most important thing in your life. And this was also this 1 year journey, which I told you, right? We kept everything and we left and we were traveling here and there and everything. It came with its own set of bad things as well. I can't just tell you, oh, we traveled, we met so many people, it was so much fun, and we did so many things. Because we were at a new place, new food every day, uncertain things, so many uncertainties, there was stress. And that's Amruta in the hospital. She started getting anxiety at night. So that did come with its bad things, but okay, we then corrected it and improved on it. And last things, I think this is the last one for me. No, there is one more. Don't let your environment determine who you are and what you become. I think oftentimes what happens is that we give too much importance to people around us, what they think about us, what they think in general. And you can see the picture. You are a triangle and everyone else, or you can say you're a cone, everyone else is a cube. You don't need to go and try to make yourself into a cube. You can be different. You need your own reasoning. You need to believe in yourself. So don't let the surroundings around you determine what you are. If you have some dreams, pursue them. Dream big. Do not give up on your dreams. I think this is a very important thing. If you have dreams right now in you, just make sure that you nurture them. Don't say like, oh, क्या करे अभी CA इंटर तक पहुंच गए, आर्टिकलशिप भी I've done all these, I must finish CA. Yes, okay, you can do it, but don't give up on your dreams. I did not give up, and today I'm able to do something that I truly like and love. I want to end this with this diagram. I don't know how many of you have seen it. It's called Ikigai. I've thought a lot about this diagram actually on different occasions. And it says essentially, in order to have a purpose in life, which is a reason for being, you need 4 things to come together, which is, if you look at the left, that green box, what you are good at. If you look at the top, what you love. If you look at the right, what the world needs. And if you look at the bottom, what you can be paid for. If all these 4 things combine together, then I think you found your Ikigai. In this, I must tell you that I feel what is very important is the green and the yellow. If you are good at something and if you love that, that is already an unstoppable combination. You will figure out how the world will need it, and you will figure out how you can be paid for it. For example, chess journalism or doing what I was doing in chess was perhaps not what the world needed at that point. But I was good at it and I loved it. And actually the world started to feel, okay, this is interesting. We never knew we needed this. And there was no money in it. But that the value that was created when people start following something, money automatically gets created, and then I started getting paid for. So I think what is more important in this diagram is what you're good at and what you love. If you can combine that, the rest too can take care of itself. So that was what I wanted to talk today. Principles for a successful professional career. That's the name I gave. But the different principles I spoke on, I hope they are useful to you. We spoke about many different things, right? And you can pick up whatever you felt was important and try to apply it in your life. If there are any questions, I think we are almost to the end of this session. But if there are any questions, please let me know. Yuvarani says it's useful, sir. Okay, wonderful. Yuvarani, I wish you good luck. Rahman from Sirk, useful. Okay, it was good. Thank you, says Ganesh. Thank you, Ganesh. If you have any questions, one self-help book that you would suggest, Madhavi. Very, very good. If you want to avoid this lying thing, I would say Lying is Amazing by Sam Harris. Atomic Habits, very good book. I love it. I have kind of read it quite a bit. I think this these can be good. Hridya says useful principles for successful life as well. Thank you. Okay, very nice. Sunita Patel, thank you so much. Ruban Jai Kumar, thank you so much, sir. Kari Ranjit, very inspiring. Thank you. Kushil Kumar, very useful. Good vision. Okay, fantastic. Sirk Rahman, thank you for your thing. Rutu says power of subconscious mind. Okay, maybe Rutu is recommending a book. Akshay Thomas, thank you. Sai Krishna M, thank you so much. Helen Dipti, it gave new perspective way to see my life. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. If something can give you new ideas, it's already good. Whenever I buy a book, I think that if there is one idea that can change something in my head, that's worth it. Paying 500 rupees for that is worth. If you get that one idea there. Sridhar, thank you. And I think with that, let's invite Hrithik here, who's here. Hrithik. And also Helen. Oh, Helen is here. Yeah. Let me switch my.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving this wonderful session for all of us. I'm totally sure 200% that, even for me, it was like an eye opener for, for seeing everyone, like a different perspective towards life. And this totally out of your personal experience you have shared. And I am also 100% sure that everyone listening will apply in their personal life as well. All your journey, whatever, was a very beautiful one. And thank you so much for accepting the invitation by us at even a busy schedule.
You made that happen, yeah, by coming to Taj Coromandel that day. Otherwise I was not sure, but thank you for this, and I enjoyed. So thank you for inviting.
With your permission, I just want to say something. I must thank Hrithik for bringing you here, sir, because I didn't know that Hrithik took this much effort to bring you here, and I was not aware of it that you are a chess player. I just because I was going through the MC, I just saw it was a normal profile. The thing is, I'm parallelly working on the other end in my office, but I couldn't stop listening to you. I want to listen to you, and I'm on another call. I'm just doing both. And it was like...
you were trying to balance things, just how... okay, very nice.
And it was like, I just literally loved it. I literally loved it, and it gave me a new perspective to see my life. I have so many other ambitions in my life apart from CA, but now this being my priority, I'm just losing the other things in my mind. Now I got like, no, you should not lose. Have that thing for mind for back, so that after CA you need to follow that. I'm just
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much, sir. Over to you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you so much for again accepting. And I am right now. I don't think you're at your place like the usual setup you are in.
Yeah. I'm at Amruta's house, my wife's place. We came to Pune, so I don't have the green screen and a little bit. It would have been much better, if
that's totally okay, sir. That truly shows your commitment level that you're even traveling, but still, you gave time for us. And thank you so much for coming for us and guiding the students. And I'm total 200% sure everyone. The most valuable session, according to me, I would say.
Thank you.
So once again, thank you so much for joining in.
Is SIRC Dean Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sir. I spoke to you and thank you for that. Yeah. I think you're muted.
It is good listening to you. So young and so inspiring. Really, we have takeaways from you. And I think everyone has from here. A big shout out to Hrithik. Even I was not aware about it. So I was scolding him a lot. But I feel very bad. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, and all the best to everyone who is here in the chat. Bye.